Happy Thunder Day, Wave Country. That's what they call this thing around here, right? 2 weeks before Derby, Carson Meredith with you. Welcome in. 2 hours away from the big show. So while we wait, thought I'd chime in and talk about the weather on this Saturday night, as we usually do around 7:30 in the evening. Thanks for stopping by. As always, if you have any comments, just let me know. Big thing we're going to talk about tonight is the chilly air that has settled in. You know, it's been about 10 degrees colder than what we're used to around this time of year. So kind of a cool thunder here in 2024. But if you've been around here long enough, you know that there's been a lot of worse weather for thunder over Louisville. Remember when we had sleet all those years ago on Thunder? Ugh, that was bad. Fortunately, we did not have to worry about that this go round. Instead, we just had the clouds and that little cool feel. And as we go through the rest of your weekend, yeah, that cool air is still here. But hey, at least we're getting a nice break in the severe weather and, well, just the active weather in general. But we have some rocky weather to talk about in the 10-day, and we'll get into that as the night goes on as well. Weather Geek says, good evening. At least you won't be stuck in the traffic after thunder. Well, Weather Geek, I hope you're right. See, our newscast ends at 11:30 tonight, 4 hours from now. So I'd like to think the fireworks, let's say they'll be done by 10, hour and a half. Maybe the roads will be better. Hopefully, Weather Geek, I'm going to take your optimism there. Ashley asked, do we get a severe break for a while? For the most part, yeah. But we do have some storms in the 10-day, and that is what we will dive into towards the end of our conversation tonight. But let's dive in, shall we? That is a live view of the Great Lawn on the SkyTrack camera. Everybody's in position. People were staking out their spot as early as 5 o'clock this morning. You kidding me? Holy cow. Some loyal Thunder fans out on the waterfront this evening. Been a pretty good crowd. Hopefully everybody has their blankets and their jackets because those temperatures will continue to dip fairly quickly once the sun goes down. Even though, you know, sometimes we talk a lot about how the clouds act as a blanket to keep us warmer overnight. That may not be the case totally tonight because it's more of that high-level cloud cover instead of that cloud cover that kind of sucks us in. So it's still cool this evening, obviously, and it'll be a little on the chilly side when you wake up on Sunday. 57 is our current temperature here in Louisville. It's been breezy, too. That wind's out of the west and northwest. It's been gusting around 20 to 25 miles per hour. So right along the river, it probably feels more like 53 or 54 instead. So, yeah, it's a cool thunder this year, but again, it's been a lot worse. And a reminder, if you live around the metro, they're going to start shutting down the interstates coming into town, I believe in the next 30 minutes to an hour, either 8 or 8:30. All of the inbound interstates coming into downtown Louisville will be closed down, I believe, at the Watterson. So keep that in mind if you have any other Saturday night plans that do not involve thunder. And they'll reopen those interstates around 11:30 tonight. Let's take you to a few other spots in Kentucky, shall we? Our friends at Kentucky Mesonet always kind enough to provide these views for us. And what you notice is there hasn't been hang on a minute. Some of these shots look like they're frozen. That's not good. Well, I was about to say there isn't as much cloud cover in these Mesonet spots, but looks like these cameras might be locked up on our end. Sorry about that, but you see the temperatures are still in the low to mid 50s, and all in all, it hasn't been a bad day, right? Had a nice sunny start. Just a little cloud cover, a little cool. Nothing out of the ordinary for April 20th. You can see on the satellite and the radar that things are quiet. Just kind of this thicker cloud cover just taking over in Wave Country this evening. It's moving, well, let's put it into motion, shall we? You see how it's just kind of moving from west to east. And eventually these clouds will be out of here sometime on Sunday, probably later in the afternoon tomorrow is when we'll clear out this cloud cover. But again, that's all it is. There is no rain in the forecast whatsoever for the rest of the weekend. just a little on the gloomy side this evening and through at least the first half of your Sunday. Let's see who else is chiming in tonight. Got a few folks. Paul says, good afternoon from Madison. Hey, Paul. Hope all is well. Evening, I should say. That's all right. It all runs together. Been in the garden all day. It's been a good day to be in the garden. And for the most part, it will be tomorrow too. Cool, yeah. But, if you got to get stuff done around the garden, you got to get stuff done, right? But we need to keep an eye on a frost potential. Yeah. Monday morning. I need to keep an eye on those gardens as we get towards that time. We'll talk about that in a second. Ashley, when y'all going to get a Mesonet camera in Hardin County? Well, I believe the Mesonet has a camera in Hardin County. I could be wrong on that. In fact, I'll do a quick Google search here and see if they do have one. I think they do. But we still, on our end, we still kind of, they got one in E-Town. Or west of E-Town at least. But as far as we're concerned, we still have a little bit of limitation as far as that quad box that I just showed you with those Mesonet cameras. So we'll try to incorporate that Hardin County camera in a little more, Ashley, over the next few weeks or so. Michael says, good evening. Hey, Michael, hope all is well. Isaac says, can't trust some of the forecasts. I need my umbrella. All right. Well, okay. You could trust that you won't need it tomorrow. Or Monday. So take that as you will. DJ afternoon from North Vernon. Hope all is well up in Jennings County. All right, let's keep going, shall we? For the fireworks tonight, obviously, if you're probably not at the waterfront now, you're probably just going to watch from a distance with those fireworks tonight. But in case you're going to make a last-second run for it here in the next 2 hours or so to the waterfront, stay bundled up with those heavier jackets and blankets. We'll see those actual temperatures in the low 50s along the waterfront this evening, but with that breeze, it may feel more like the upper 40s as we get closer to showtime here in a couple of hours. But all in all, not too bad this year. And in case you're wondering, okay, who's going to have the more smoky view this year, Kentucky or Indiana? That will be Kentucky because that wind is out of the north and west. It pushes that fireworks smoke to the south and east. So if you know anybody that's watching on the Indiana side of things tonight, or maybe you're on the waterfront just watching on your phone here on Wave Weather Now, you lucked out on the Hoosier side of the Ohio River instead of the bluegrass. For tonight, we're down to the low 40s here in town. You go outside of Louisville, upper 30s definitely on the table, especially in southern Indiana. Now, is this going to be enough for a frost tonight? Probably not. A couple reasons why. Cloudy skies and the breeze. The wind will subside a little bit once the sun goes down, but it'll still be enough to keep things stirred up tonight. So not too worried about frost this evening. Tomorrow evening could be a little different. Here's your high temperatures on Sunday. Most of us in the upper 50s, 58, 59, that ballpark. Here in Louisville, we'll say 60 on the dot just because of that heat island effect. But bottom line, this cool trend will continue tomorrow before we start to warm things up just a little bit as we head into Monday. Monday looks phenomenal, by the way, at least in the afternoon. All right, here's the cloud cover breakdown. As we go through the day on Sunday, you notice the overcast start, that cloud cover in the 60 to 70 range, but we'll quickly drop things into the afternoon. Now, is it going to be a brilliant blue sky tomorrow? I'm not expecting that, but we should get a decent bit of sunshine late in the day with some of those wispy clouds still kind of hanging around. So not a bad day tomorrow, just still need to keep that heavier jacket with you through your Sunday. And I'm going to be kind of brief tonight, guys, because quite honestly, there's not much in the way of severe weather to talk about. It's one of the quieter forecasts we've had in a while. Like that little touch on the 10-day with the call to the post. 2 weeks away from Derby 150. Man, if only we had this nice little quiet stretch 2 weeks from now, right? We mentioned Monday looks fantastic. Tons of sunshine. I mean, tons of sunshine. Bright blue skies. And we're warmer Monday, 68. But Monday morning, have that frost potential, especially outside of Louisville. You notice those actual low temperatures, for most of us, will be in that 34, 35 range in southern Indiana, also out towards our Kentucky counties outside of Louisville as well. So wherever you're watching us tonight, just start thinking about how you're going to protect those plants tomorrow night, Sunday night, Monday morning. I'm becoming a little more confident that we'll see a decent bit of frost across wave country. We got the clouds and the wind tonight that will help us out. We will not have the clouds tomorrow night, and the wind will be lighter. So the conditions are a little bit better for that frost tomorrow night as opposed to this evening in particular. Definitely a little cool stretch, but you do notice we're back in the 70s on Tuesday. The problem is the rain chances are going up as we get towards Tuesday. I'll show you that on Futurecast. Thanks to a cold front that's going to scoot on through, moving in from the north and west. There is not a lot of storm fuel with this, guys. So could we have a couple rumbles of thunder on Tuesday? Yeah, you can never rule it out this time of year, but it's not overly concerning at this point. More than anything else, just looks like some rain. Late afternoon is when this rain could start in Indiana. For the city, we're looking maybe as early as 6 or 7 p.m. Tuesday for that rain to start. And you notice on Futurecast, the rain will quickly move through Tuesday night. And what's been the trend with the last couple of model runs is this front is moving faster. So that would get most of this stuff out of here, excuse me, by sunrise Wednesday morning. So that is when you will need the umbrella again. But for the next 2.5 days, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday morning should be in good shape. So that's the next rain chance. Just a few showers, more than likely, Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday night. But as we get towards next weekend, you see those 30% storm chances across the board starting on Friday. And the reason why we're just going to keep it at 30 for that long stretch of time is because models are all over the place on the exact timing of these little waves of showers and storms. And it's just way too early to get into the specifics at this point. It's something we're still watching, but there is going to be a system to our west that develops, let's say, in that Wednesday, Thursday time, and could push towards wave country as early as next Friday. The model I'm showing you now, it's the best case scenario. Sometimes I show the worst case scenario. This is the best case scenario, okay? So on Friday, few hit and miss downpours along a warm front. Then we get into that warm sector where it's warmer, obviously. It's a little more humid. So that in and of itself keeps the storm chances around. But the big question is, how quickly can this system get here and get out of here? And that is why there is some massive timing differences with these waves of rain that we may have on the way late next week into next weekend. So this particular forecast model really keeps this system parked to our west, keeping most of the heavier rain and storms across the Mississippi River Valley, out towards Illinois, St. Louis, Arkansas, down into Texas and Oklahoma. But there's another model, the GFS model, the American model, that wants to be much more progressive and move this system into wave country and into the eastern U.S. as early as Sunday, Monday timeframe. So long story short, there's going to be a few showers and storms around starting next Friday. We just haven't exactly nailed down when each little pocket of showers and storms will roll through. So with the marathon next Saturday, the Pegasus Parade a week from tomorrow, we're going to keep a close eye on this. It's not a washout at this point, but it definitely looks unsettled, I'm afraid, as we get towards next weekend with all the Derby festivities going on. Just something to keep in mind. And obviously, as we get closer to next weekend, we'll be able to nail down and increase and decrease those rain chances as we get closer and hopefully get better data agreement for next weekend. Otherwise, it's warmer. 78, 74, that is, on Friday, 80 on Saturday, 82 next Sunday, and for the following Monday. That about does it, guys. Kind of short tonight, I know, but again, the forecast is pretty straightforward here over the next 10 days. If you guys are good, I'm not seeing any comments. Everybody's just ready to see the fireworks, I would assume. Things are looking good for the fireworks. The air show didn't have any issues today despite the clouds, and the fireworks will be just fine. Just might have a little more of a smoky view in Kentucky this year as opposed to Indiana. All right. Looks like everybody's good. Things are quiet in the comment section. Thanks for stopping by. Be back on the TV side of things at Wave News at 11. We'll have a Thunder recap. Keep an eye on those roadways for you tonight as well. And we'll be back here in the Wave Weather Now studios tomorrow night around the same time, 7:30-ish, as we get closer to that frosty Monday and, of course, those storm chances for next weekend. That is going to do it, gang. I'll leave you with the 10-day. Enjoy the quiet weather while we have it. Get outside the next couple of days. Just keep that jacket handy. Take care of yourself. Take care of those around you. And we will talk soon. Good night, everybody. Stay safe.